All right, it is officially almost May by the time you're watching this video, and there's so much been going on in Ho'opili, which is located here in Ewa Beach. We're right on the border of Ewa Beach and Kapolei on West Oahu, and there's so much construction going on. So not only do we have condos going on behind me, there's also single family homes, multiple styles, multiple floor plans we're gonna show you a little bit later. And there's a lot of updates you need to know. How are homes being released right now? What's pre-approval process looking like? How are the rates going? What's the pricing looking like? What are the timelines, right? You can obviously see stuff is going on, but when can you actually move in and enjoy the home? We're gonna break it down. There's so much to look forward to. Let's dive into the video. All right, so let's dive into condos first, right? So we know Nahele is the one actively being sold and selling out really quickly. And so this one, it ranges from 1 bedroom and even a studio up to 3 bedroom with a garage. So price points on these are gonna be anywhere from $390s for the studio up to almost $700,000 for the 3 bedroom with the garage. Fun fact about this building, right? It's the biggest that Ho'opili has built yet, meaning it's 5 stories tall. It has an elevator throughout the center of the building. So it's really, really homeowner friendly in the fact that you don't have to deal with stairs. So this is awesome for elderly or people that might be mobility challenged. You can really just roll right on up to your top floor, wherever you're at, and get into these condos. Another fun fact about these is the upgrade options. So all of these are coming with really great appliances, Whirlpool, washer dryer. You've got the whole setup for your microwave hood and everything. And it's just beautiful stainless steel appliances overall. And then what's also great is a couple of floors have a light oak color flooring, and then the other floors are gonna have a gray tone vinyl flooring. So a couple of options there. I really just love these condos. Number one, for the price point. It's a great way to get into real estate if you've been struggling to find a home on the rest of the market that maybe isn't up to par, or for the same price point, you're getting a 20-year-old condo that needs a lot of work. With Ho'opili, you're getting in, let's say for a 1 bedroom for less than $550 for sure, and you're able to move in, enjoy that home for 1 to 2 years, and then leverage that to the next level or a bigger place whenever you move up to that. Quick side tangent here about Nahele. So I had a client, and myself actually am in the market to buy a Nahele condo. We found out, this was 2 days ago, so Wednesday afternoon, I had a client pre-approved. Like I said, I'm also on the radar, so my ears are perked at all times, ready to jump when this release comes out. I get word that people are standing out line on Wednesday afternoon, and so I drive by on my way home at 5 o'clock. Sure enough, there's still about 12 people sitting outside the sales office ready to go for these condos, freaking out because my husband works a night shift, so I wasn't able to like camp out overnight. But I go at 4:55 in the morning the next morning, and by then I was number 16 in line. But I found out very quickly that the people who had the first dibs and who are the first 5 people in line, they read the newspaper, like a physical copy of the newspaper. And so Ho'opili is required as a developer at D.R. Horton, they have to publish it in the newspaper the day before a release, and that's just like part of their policy. And so because it's an owner-occupant condo, and so the people who are first in line are elderly people who read the physical newspaper, and they were ready to go, and they camped out from 1 p.m. all the way until 10 a.m. when the office opened the next morning. But like I said, I got there 5 a.m. and I held my spot, and then I had my teammate Sam come with me to hold my client's spot. We were going for 2 different floor plans, so it worked out great. Long story short, by 2 p.m. I finally got called into the office. At that point, all of the 2 bedrooms were sold out already with the 16 people in front of me, but I was able to get a 3 bedroom unit with a garage for my clients, and they are over the moon. They're located on the East Coast right now, and so they weren't able to be here in person, but it was awesome to be able to get the condo that they wanted. It really was a win-win situation, and it was worth standing in the rain. It was pouring for a good couple of hours, and we were all just out there on the sidewalk with our umbrellas and our little chairs. And these are realtors who are going above and beyond you for clients, and it was a fun environment, and a day is never boring in real estate. So that was a first for me. But something to know for future, if you are wanting Nahele, we are saying, and they're being told, that the next release is coming out in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So what happened yesterday was they only released about 15 condos. So another 10 to 15 should be coming out in the next 2 weeks. But big thing, middle to end of May is next release. Okay, so if you guys want this, I'm gonna talk about this at the end of the video. So watch to the very end of how to actually get plugged in, get pre-approved, and ready to go. So transitioning into single family, right? Condo side, townhouse side, that's all we got right now is Nahele. But over here in the single family zone, we have Ikena, which is coming up with its 3rd release. They just had a release on April 3rd, which sold out within, I think, 6 to 7 hours, or maybe even less. Like for that one, I know too, people were sleeping out overnight. That thing sold in a heartbeat. Really high demand for Ikena. So Ikena is actually the model that we're standing in today. We're gonna do home tour for you next week, so you're gonna get to see what these homes actually look like inside. Really cool floor plans. We love the amenities, really well designed, where we have a family room and we have a formal living room in the front of the house, multiple areas for dining, and then you have bedrooms upstairs in this model. And then the next door's version is just the 1-story model. So really cool. but these are selling like hotcakes. So Ikena is super neat, check them out. And then the next one is gonna be Konalani. So let's talk about Konalani a little bit more because this is brand new. It has never released yet. So this is the first of its kind in Hoopili. Fun things to know about this one is there's 85 total homes coming. So that's a lot. That's probably gonna be 2 to 5 phases of releases. And the first release is coming out in the next 1 to 2 weeks, according to the sales office. So at the time of this recording, it's April 28th. So I'm thinking mid-May, wink, wink, it's coming soon. And so let's kind of break down this new development called Kanalani and what it entails and why you need to know and get in on this. So one thing to note about both Ikena and Kanalani is that all of these homes come equipped and ready to plug in for EV and PV panels. So if you've got an electric vehicle and you're worrying about where to charge it, all the garages come pre-wired and all you have to do is plug in with your system and add the adapter. So really great there. Same thing for PV. If you're planning to add solar panels, we need to talk first of all because I have a new solar partnership coming up in May I'm really excited about and I want to tell you about. But the home is PV ready, meaning all you have to do is send we're gonna take a picture of your roof. We're gonna get a HECO bill from you, which is your Hawaiian electric bill, and give you a really great proposal. But these homes are ready to go. Pop them on top. I mean, the biggest issue is gonna be permitting, which takes about 6 months sometimes. So the second that you find out you're getting a home, we can start getting to work getting those proposals. Let's go back to Konalani. So fun thing about these is there is 1 and 2 story homes which feature 3 and 4 bedroom layouts, and they all have 2-car attached garages, which is really great. Out of all the floor plans, there's one called the Orchard floor plan, and this one is the ADU configuration. So it is extremely rare in Hawaii to find an ADU, first of all, let alone a brand new construction ADU. And so let's just talk about what this looks like. So it's gonna be 1996 total square foot and living area, and then the ADU unit is 339 square feet. So that's perfect for a mother-in-law suite, or if you wanna rent it out for supplemental income. It's not gonna be a short-term rental, let's get this clear. This is not a resort zoned area of Oahu where you can do short-term rentals legally, but you can absolutely rent it long-term or more than 30 days at a time. So this is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath total home. The main home has a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, and then the ADU is a studio with a full bathroom. This is 2 stories with a 2-car garage. And I'll have my editors throw in the floor plan so you guys are seeing what I'm looking at. But what's really cool, it's located in the back of the house. It has its own separate entrance, so you truly can have a separated area of your home. That's really great for visiting family, friends, you name it. Like I said, you can do a long-term rental or make it a in-law suite or a family member's home. So I love, love, love that option. Price points on these. Let's talk about price for a second. I don't know. Nobody knows, which is really fun about the first release. We won't know unless it's announced to the public. And just a side note, going back to Nahele, so even though people were in line on Wednesday, the price sheet was not released until Thursday at 9 a.m., at which if you had been waiting for that price sheet, you snooze, you lose. Like people were already in line, 25 people deep at that point by 9 a.m. The homes were sold out without even knowing the exact prices of the units. So as long as you understand a general ballpark zone, and if you're pre-approved for that, just go in line, honey. Just get in there and you can always turn it down after you find out the total, but just make sure it's your safe zone, right? Make sure we're willing to go a little bit over, a little bit under, and we're comfortable working it out with a lender before you reserve a unit, obviously. So one last unique thing about Konalani is the landscaping. So a lot of these homes, they come with pretty builder grade standard landscaping. Unlike Koa Ridge that doesn't do much for the yard, Hoopili actually does grass plugs. They do your front landscaping with a nice neighborhood consistent basics. But with this one, it's actually gonna be a Hoopili urban garden in your yard. So what does that mean? It's saying that front and backyards are edible or flowering landscapes with irrigation and raised garden beds for planting, which I love. So not only are you gonna get beautiful tropical landscaping, but now we have edible gardens with these, which is really fun. And I think it's a sustainable aspect that Hoopili is adding in to make these homes a little bit more desirable and unique, which is really cool. And then when you're looking at the community map, which is gonna show you the exact area of Hoopili that it's at, you're right along the edge there, not quite at the edge where the view's at, but 1 street away. And so you're gonna be a 5-minute walk over to the new park that's coming up. There's another community center coming up in the works, which is right next to it as well. So location is prime, it's really great. And then once those rail stations open up, you're gonna be close to the 3rd one. So just a quick, easy way to get to the rail. And again, 5 minutes to the highway. We love this entire neighborhood and this development for its ease with commute. So let's kind of roll into how do you actually reserve these units as they come? How do you prepare for a release? What do you do if you're 6 months out? When are these homes move-in ready? Let's kind of answer all of those questions. Step number 1 is always to reach out to me, right? I can't help you unless I know that you exist. So my job is gonna be to connect you with the sales office and with DHI, which is the in-house lender for D.R. Horton. So DHI is a super competitive lender, and they're offering, I think right now, 1% of closing costs back to you in credit. And then if you're using a VA loan, you get an additional $1,000 in credit back to you. So that's really hard for a traditional lender to meet and match that unless they're willing to lose a little bit of money on the deal, and not always. So DHI is always worth a second quote or a second opinion just to price match and see if they can beat you. It's who we personally used on our purchase here in Hoopili, and I really think it's worth it. So we're gonna reach out to me, right? Get in contact. I'm gonna connect you with the right people. If you reach out to the sales office before you talk to me, that's okay, but just let them know, hey, I'm working with Marina, because they're gonna ask you, who's the realtor you're working with? And if you say you don't know or you're not sure, then they're gonna snag you as a client, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to represent you on your sale. So I really wanna make sure that I'm helping in step by step, hand in hand, the whole process. Okay, so step number 2 then is gonna be to get pre-approved. So once we've done that introduction to the lender, you're actually submitting your income proof of documentation. We're gonna do a full pre-approval, not just a pre-qualification, because I wanna make sure you understand what we're looking at, hypothetical mortgage payments, and you really feel comfortable and committed moving into this. And we're not gonna reserve a unit and then be flaky and drop out 2 weeks later. Like, I wanna make sure you guys understand, you get super excited about it, and you feel comfortable. It's a number that we feel comfortable with. So that's what me and the lender are gonna help you with there. Step number 3 is then to obviously come up with your top ranking of floor plans. So when a release comes out, we don't have a lot of time to decide and go back and forth on which unit we want. I want you guys to have your top 5 and even top 10 floor plan choices ready to go in advance. So the second I get a little hint of any whiff that it's coming, like, I need to know, I need to have your list ready so that I can bolt it to the sales office, stand in line, or call the sales office and get more information to make sure we are ready to go. So really, if you could rank it, I mean, number 1 choice down to number 10 choice, that's really just gonna help us with clarity. You're gonna know the numbers and feel good about it. And then step number 4 is gonna be me helping you either in person or virtually reserve that unit. And then we have about 3 to 4 months until completion. So the thing about new construction, it's not like a typical home where you reserve it and we have a 30-day escrow and you get keys 30 days later. We're actually reserving it when it's still just bare bones. There's no paint on the exterior yet. Sometimes the roof isn't even on yet, and it's kind of like a pre-sale. So then we have 3 to 4 months of hurry up and wait, and we're just being patient through the process. There's not a whole lot that goes on other than communication with your lender to make sure that you're providing any documents they might need. And then really, we're gonna do final inspection the week before move-in, making sure everything looks really good. We call it our blue tape tour, where we're going through, we're marking any like dirty spots in the home or paint touch-ups that need to be done. Anything in the home that looks like it's not quite up to your standard, they're gonna come back in with the crew, make sure it's clean completely and up to your standard, and then you get keys a couple of days later after we fund and record. So it really can be seamless and smooth, but again, it's know before you go, get as much information as you can as possible. And that's my intention with these videos, is really just to over-educate you guys so you know the variety of options you have here with new construction and how to get in before you snooze and you lose. Because if you're waiting until, like I said, when that e-blast comes out, it's too late already. You really gotta be proactive. So guys, I'm here to help. This channel is all about living in Ho'opili and life in Hawaii in general, and I'm happy to be a resource. Next couple videos we're gonna be doing are the actual model tours of the single families. And just heads up, so Nahele, which is the condos again, those are actually gonna have 2 model units coming up, which are under construction right now. Hopefully by summer they'll be ready. Last tip I have is the bluffs, right? So a lot of people saw the bluffs and they went real quick. Those are those luxury homes that are in the 1.3 to 1.4 price point that feature the bluffs view. There's gonna be another phase of that coming out called Nanaina. We're hoping summer or fall release, but that has not been disclosed yet. So we don't really know exactly what's going on as far as timeline goes, but we know more are coming soon. Same thing with Mamaka and Ho'oulu. I believe Ho'oulu is officially done for the development, which is the plantation style. Mamaka might have another phase or 2 coming up, which will be more of those smaller footprint, 1,200 or so square feet, 2-story, but a great price point, hopefully in the next year. But again, we don't have timeline yet. So lots coming up. There's always new events and new things coming in. So make sure we connect, and I look forward to serving you guys soon. Thank you.